up, all you fantastic, awesome, amazing people? I'm just at the garden here, and I had to weed my beet patch because we got a lot of rain after I planted the beets, and the weeds just took off like crazy. So unfortunately, I lost a lot of my beets, so I'm gonna replant them. Checking on all the other things. I'm trying to see if my cucumbers are tall enough that I can start tying them onto the trellis, because they weren't doing so good either. It's been considering it's the 5th of July today, we're having a bit of a challenging year. So I'll walk you around. I'll kind of explain some of what's going on. So like I was saying, so this is my beet patch, and you can see some of them are nice and big, and then some of them are tiny, and they've fallen over because they were supported by all the weeds that you can see, all this weeds all over the ground that I was just throwing over my shoulder. So I'm going to replant some of these beets because I need a beet harvest this year. I'm doing pickled beets, and I've had some friends ask me for some. So I'm just going to replant. I have enough time to do that. Here's one of the rows of potatoes, and they are taking off like gangbusters. There's the other row of potatoes. Those are purple and red fingerlings, and these are russets and Yukon Golds. The cucumbers are finally taking off, right? I mean, some of them are not tall enough to get onto the trellis yet, but some of them are. So at least they're growing. Okay, I'm happy they're growing. I've replanted. See, some of them I just hung the leaves over and just kind of snagged it. But so I replanted some of the cukes. See, there's one. There's a couple there. Cukes here. So I've replanted some so that because some of these were really sick and dying and stuff, so at least I'll have a good cuke harvest. We've got bush beans here, red, purple, yellow, and green bush beans. We're gonna make pickled beans out of these, dilly beans out of these. And then these are the pole beans. We have yellow pole beans and green pole beans. Not a whole lot of these. I think these are the greens. Not a whole lot of them grew, but between these pole beans and what I harvest off of there, I should be okay because I'm going to can those. This is my cucamelon patch. Look at this. This is one of the issues with cucamelons. If you don't take care of it and train these vines up onto here, it turns into this matted, tangled mess. And they're just really thin vines, and they're not very structurally sound. So you can't really pull on them too hard. Now, they have lots of those little tendrils. See the little tendrils there? So you can kind of hook them and weave them in. And once they start to go up, once they start going up, you're good. But if they start doing this, then you have problems. So we're just going to keep fiddling with them and trying to tuck those up. We're going to pickle the cucamelons this year. I tried it with apple cider vinegar a couple years ago. They just didn't taste right. These are leeks. We've got the green onions. They're coming along good. They don't seem to care about whatever else is going on here. We've got the tomatoes. I'll stand right over here. Look at how bowed out that is. That's out almost 3 feet from center now. So what I need to do is I need to buy more 8-foot T-posts, and I'll have to put them in the center and pull it all back. But they're growing. But I mean, like, I'm going to have to literally like up and lift them all back. So this row here is Romas and San Marzanos. And that row there are different kinds of cherry tomatoes plus big slicer tomatoes. We threw this zucchini in the ground like 2 weeks ago, and it's really taken off, so that's good. There's flowers on it, and it seems to be healthy. And in a week, these are my cabbages here. I'm going to make sauerkraut with them. My buddy Mike here, he gardens over there. He's going to teach me how to make sauerkraut. A week ago, these things were only about that big, little tiny things. in these 3 squares, I've planted yellow zucchini. So they're coming along. I mean, this one you can still see it's got the shell on it. And this one's popped up. And this one has a hole in the ground, so I'm wondering if a critter has pulled that one. And I don't have anything here yet because I'm deciding if I'm going to plant anything there at the moment. I'm going to do a fall crop of cauliflower, so I might just keep that tarp on for the cauliflower. These are my carrots right here. They're struggling. They're not gonna lie, they're struggling. So I've been weeding that. As you can see, the pathways are crazy weedy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the weed whacker down and I'm gonna weed whack all these pathways super low to the ground, like just shave it right down to the ground. And then I have 2 bales of straw that I'm going to put down the pathways to suppress a lot of the weeds. Here's the onion patch. They're doing okay. I lost a bunch right at planting, like you can see. So these are all planted in rows, okay, like this. And some of these rows only have 2 that survived, and there was 6 or 7 onions planted in each row. So that was due to the drought. I planted these and it was 36 degrees, and then we didn't get any rain for a week. And I was not able to get here, so I lost a bunch. This is the other carrot bed. That's the other carrot bed right here. They're doing all right. I mean, it's dry though. Like, look at how, right? Like, that's the soil. Look how dry that is. So, and here is the other onion patch. Get out of here, bee. And the peppers are doing okay. Peppers really don't care. They don't need a whole lot of water. So at least that's all right. And all these yellow ones here, these are my almas, but that doesn't look good. I'm gonna have to go home and diagnose and see what that problem is. It might be a deficiency. I gotta look that up. So these are gonna turn bright red. So at least there's lots on the plants, like you can see all of that. And then we have jalapeno peppers. And then we've already got some green peppers growing. See? Got some green peppers growing. What else we got down here? There we go. See? That's not bad. Gonna do that. And then over here, what do we have? We have these are green onions. No, sorry, that's more onions. These are more green onions here. And then we've got cilantro, rosemary. I'm pretty happy, guys. I have never been able to actually grow rosemary plants. So I'm probably going to harvest one of these at the end of the season and actually put it in a pot and take it home because they're a perennial. And then here's my Thai basil. So if you guys are growing basil, you see how it's flowering? Okay? See the little flowers here? You want to cut those flowers off right at the node below it, and the plant will bush out. You can just pick them off with your fingers. Oh, that smells so good. If you guys, if you don't use a lot of basil and you're just kind of used to like Genovese basil, this is Genovese basil. If you don't use a lot of basil, you might actually recognize Thai basil though if you eat pho, the Vietnamese soup. They usually put a bunch of Thai basil in with your plant. And if you're in your garden and you see this plant, okay, this is lamb's quarters and it's edible. See? Tastes like spinach. So if you're in your garden, and it grows everywhere, see? It's here, it's here, it's here. So you can just pick it off the ground and eat it. So if you're hungry while you're weeding, there you go. We've got parsley, see? This is what happens with the lamb's quarters when it gets bigger. See? But it has very weak root system, so they pick out easy. This is the rhubarb Swiss chard. This is our favorite in the house. I'm gonna come back in the next day or two and I'm so nervous now in the garden. I've got a bee allergy. I was recently diagnosed with a bee allergy and I don't have an EpiPen yet. And I just picked a bee right off my neck. Look at how tall this dill is. I don't know if you guys can tell. So I'm wearing my work boots. I'm 6 feet tall. And this dill is up to my belly button. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to let, isn't that pretty? What we're gonna do is we're gonna let the dill heads go to seed, okay? See, look at that. We're gonna let the dill heads go to seed, and then I'm just gonna cut the dill heads off, and we're going to be able to use those dill heads to make dill pickles and stuff. So that's why, like, these are massive plants. Look how big that stalk is. It's like half an inch around. So, and then over here, we have your mandatory kale plants that most people don't eat, but they just grow anyways. So this is a dwarf curly kale. It's good in salads and burgers and tacos and stuff like that. It's not really good for kale chips as far as I know, but my kids will eat it, so I'm gonna grow it. So that's kind of the overview of the garden at the moment. And then I have a storm coming. So I wanted to do a little bit of filming here, show you guys what's going on. And then I'm gonna sign off because I gotta jump back in my car and get the heck out of here before I get drowned out in the middle of a field. So have a great day. Make sure you're growing good food, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, love ya. See ya.